State and Government, Chairperson of the AU Commission, Ministers, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, Commissioners, esteemed participants, I wish to welcome you all to this virtual extraordinary summit. And it is in this regard that I now call this the 13th extraordinary session of the Assembly of Heads of State and Government on the African Continental Free Trade Area to order. We are together, much as we are virtually attending this summit, and I really, truly welcome you. I now want to ask that we check whether we do have a quorum from the Acting Secretary General.
Excellency, good afternoon. I confirm we do have a quorum.
Wonderful. I now, as we commence, hand over to the AUC Chief of Protocol, direct the order of proceedings of the opening ceremony.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président. Excellences, Messieurs les chefs d'État et de gouvernement, Excellences, Monsieur Moussa Faki Mahamat, Président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres, Excellences, Monsieur le Vice-président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les commissaires, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les secrétaires des communautés économiques régionales, Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la Banque africaine de développement, Excellences, Monsieur le Président de Afreximbank, distingués invités, nous nous réunissons ce jour pour la 13e session extraordinaire de la Conférence de l'Union consacrée à la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. Pour la cérémonie d'ouverture, nous entendrons successivement le président de l'Union en exercice de l'Union africaine, son Excellence Cyril Ramaphosa, suivi de son Excellence Moussa Faki Mahamat, président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, et enfin de M. Ouamkele, le secrétaire général de la ZLECAf. Pour le départ, je voudrais demander à mes collègues de la régie de bien vouloir nous conduire pour l'exécution de l'hymne continental. Je vous remercie.
Zimba, não tens uma cópia mais da intervenção?
Thank you. We will now proceed with the opening statements and remarks. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, Heads of States and Government, Your Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the AU Commission, Your Excellencies, members of the Executive Council, Wamkele Mene, the Secretary General of the AfCFTA, Secretariat, heads of AU organs, heads of regional economic communities, Deputy Chairperson, and commissioners of the African Union Commission, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to welcome you all to this, the 13th extraordinary session of the Assembly of the Heads of State and Government of the Union, African Union. But let me start off on a very happy, welcoming note by welcoming the newly elected presidents to be welcomed and acknowledged by all of us. President Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi, President Ba Ndao of Mali, President Lazarus Chakwera of Malawi, President Wavel Ramkalawan of the Seychelles. We welcome you to this extraordinary session. Today we stand on the cusp of a new era in the progress of our beautiful continent. The moment that we've all been working painstakingly towards has finally arrived. With just 4 weeks to go before the AfCFTA commences trading on the 1st of January 2021, we're here to consider the adoption of the legal instruments that will facilitate its operationalization. We are all filled with a great sense of pride at how far we have come to reach this moment. We recall the collective journey we embarked upon just over 4 decades ago with the adoption of the Monrovia Strategy in 1979, followed by the Lagos Plan of Action in 1980 and the Abuja Treaty in 1991. We recall with a sense of achievement the subsequent decisions and declarations adopted at our previous summits relating to the economic development and integration of the African continent. And now, we are about to witness the realization of one of the flagship projects of Agenda 2063. Throughout this process, we have stood united with 55 sovereign AU member states rallying together despite different levels of economic development and diverse strategic priorities. The commencement of trading under the AfCFTA on the 1st of January 2021 is one of the most significant milestones in the Continental integration project. It will be the clearest affirmation yet that Africa is determined to take charge of its own destiny and that its success and development is fundamentally tied to harnessing the potential and energies of her citizens. We already witnessed history in the making when the first ever Secretary General of the AfCFTA Secretariat was installed on the 19th of September 2020 in Accra, in Ghana. we commend His Excellency, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and the people of Ghana for their part in fulfilling the African dream. We also congratulate Mr. Wamkele Mene, the Secretary General of the AfCFTA Secretariat, and wish him success for the work that lies ahead. Our treaty will boost intra-African trade. It will promote industrialization and competitiveness and contribute to job creation, and it will unleash regional value chains that will facilitate Africa's meaningful integration into the global economy. The treaty will also improve the prospects of Africa as an attractive investment destination. In the context of global developments on trade, including threats to multilateral system, the treaty is more critical than ever. We must use this, our treaty, to advance the empowerment of Africa's women, one of the most important objectives of Agenda 2063. Improving African women's access to trade opportunities not only facilitates economic freedom for women, but also expands the productive capacity of countries. The AfCFTA must facilitate greater trade opportunities for women and focus on removing non-tariff barriers to trade. To support this, we must strengthen women's participation in the continental economy by ensuring there is greater public procurement that is earmarked for women-owned businesses. We must ensure that there is sufficient support given to women-owned small, medium enterprises and cooperatives in both local and regional economies. Your Excellencies, most importantly, we should consider an AU protocol on women in trade to give effect to our intentions. This, our treaty, presents immense opportunities for the private sector in Africa and will be a catalyst for the development and expansion of private enterprise on our continent. We call on the private sector to be our partners in this journey and provide support to this continental effort through the development of human and financial resources and investment in areas such as infrastructure and technology. Before I conclude, let me acknowledge and appreciate the critical role played by the heads of state and government and for their continued support towards the realization of this flagship project. We express our appreciation to His Excellency, President Issoufou Mahamadou, the President of the Republic of Niger, and the champion of the AfCFTA for his excellent work and the dedicated leadership that he has demonstrated throughout the negotiation process of the treaty since March 2016 to date. We further extend our gratitude to the chairperson of the AU Commission, His Excellency Moussa Faki Mahamat, all the commissioners as well, and the staff of the AU Commission for their tireless effort and dedication, as well as the technical support from partners such as the UN Economic Commission for Africa. The treaty is the great edifice that holds our collective dreams and aspirations for an integrated and prosperous continent. It has been us, the nations of Africa, who labored and toiled to lay the weighty cornerstone, who dug the foundations and erected the scaffolding. And it has been you, Your Excellencies, who have been the engineers who have kept a watchful eye to ensure that as the building grows upwards and sideways, that it remains firm. There's no doubt that the AfCFTA will endure because it is built upon the strongest of foundations, the unity of all our African nations. May it continue to be strengthened. May it also weather the elements, and may it forever hold. I now declare this 13th extraordinary session of the Assembly of the Heads of State and Government of the African Union on the African Continental Free Trade Area officially open. And in this regard, I thank you. And that is how we then proceed to ask the next speaker to then make their opening statement. Thank you very much.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais rappeler que le prochain orateur, c'est Son Excellence Monsieur Moussa Faki Mahamat, président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, que je voudrais respectueusement inviter pour son allocution.
Excellence, Monsieur Cyril Ramaphosa, président de l'Afrique du Sud, président de l'Union africaine. Excellence Mahamadou Issoufou, président de la République du Niger, champion de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. Excellence, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs d'État et de gouvernement, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Monsieur le secrétaire général de la zone de libre-échange continentale, Monsieur le président de la Banque africaine du développement, Monsieur le président de Afrique-Bank, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs exécutifs de communautés économiques régionales, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs des organes de l'Union africaine, chers partenaires, Mesdames et Messieurs, c'est pour moi une joie immense d'assister à ce sommet extraordinaire consacré à l'examen des préparatifs pour le démarrage effectif au 1er janvier 2021 des échanges commerciaux dans le cadre de l'un de nos projets phares, la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. Je voudrais exprimer notre gratitude au gouvernement d'Afrique du Sud qui avait pris toutes les dispositions utiles pour la tenue physique de cette session extraordinaire. Hélas, la COVID-19 nous contraint à cette rencontre virtuelle, ce qui ne diminue en rien toute l'attention que nous accorderons au traitement des dossiers qui nous seront soumis. Je voudrais également rendre un vibrant hommage au président Mahamadou Issoufou, président de la République du Niger, champion de la ZLECAF, qui a conduit avec une grande passion le processus ayant abouti à la mise en place de cet important projet. Avec l'énergie et la passion qui les caractérisent, il nous présentera son rapport dont les risques et pertinentes recommandations qu'il contient nous permettront de réaffirmer qu'au 1er janvier 2021, l'Afrique est prête à s'engager dans la direction du commerce préférentiel à l'échelle du continent. Excellences, Mesdames, Messieurs, nous réalisons un vieux rêve des pères fondateurs de l'OUA qui portait sur la création des marchés communs africains. De 1963 à ce jour, la maturation puis la gestation ont été longues en raison de toutes les contraintes politiques, économiques et naturelles, à l'instar de la COVID-19 auquel l'Afrique a fait face. Mais la gestation a eu finalement lieu dans le bonheur, comme celui que l'on ressent à l'arrivée d'un enfant longtemps attendu. Plusieurs étapes ont jalonné la vie de ce projet, dont la plus décisive est la signature en 1991 du traité instituant la communauté économique africaine. Cependant, l'élan déterminant a été donné en mars 2018 à Kigali au Rwanda, au cours de la session extraordinaire de la conférence qui a ouvert à la signature l'accord établissant la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. 44 pays ont signé ce jour les dits accords. Et aujourd'hui, nous sommes à 34 ratifications avec dépôt des instruments, ce qui est un chiffre record dans les annales de l'Union, qui marque la détermination des États à franchir une étape supplémentaire sur la voie de l'intégration économique continentale. En ouvrant le marché convenu le 1er janvier 2021, nous allons vivre une nouvelle expérience d'intégration économique de l'ensemble des États membres de notre Union. La réussite heureuse de ce processus n'est pas une garantie certaine des bons résultats. La phase de travail pour rendre effectifs les échanges est chargée de nombreux défis. C'est pour cette raison que la mission qui nous attend est un exercice de prévoyance, d'action stratégique et de résilience. Ainsi, toutes les structures concernées, au niveau national, régional et continental, seront appelées à jouer chacune sa partition dans une belle harmonie pour le plein succès de la zone de libre-échange continentale africaine. À ce niveau, je voudrais souligner une fois de plus les formidables opportunités et les larges horizons qu'offre cette zone aux femmes africaines et aux jeunes africains qui veulent aller à la conquête de leur continent. La mise en œuvre effective de la zone de libre-échange continentale est une réponse à leurs légitimes attentes et conforme à leur esprit d'innovation et de créativité qui va au-delà du cadre strict des frontières nationales. Toutefois, il y a une réalité que nous ne pouvons pas occulter. La réussite de la ZLECAf est tributaire d'un environnement de paix et de sérénité, dans lequel elle se déploie mieux et plus facilement. C'est tout le sens du second projet, phare de l'Union africaine, celui de faire taire les armes, un sujet que nous aborderons demain. Je voudrais relever en passant que la ZLECAf et faire taire les armes entretiennent des rapports d'influence réciproques, au point où l'un ne se conçoit pas sans l'autre, où l'un est une condition sine qua non à l'existence de l'autre. Aussi avons-nous l'impérieuse obligation de mener le combat sur les deux fronts. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, je suis heureux de rappeler que le secrétariat de la ZLECAf est opérationnel à Accra, au Ghana, depuis le mois d'août 2020, grâce aux facilités que nous a accordées Son Excellence le Président Nana Akufo-Addo, auquel je tiens à réitérer notre reconnaissance et nos remerciements. Ce secrétariat est prêt à faciliter le commerce africain. Le travail accompli sur les règles d'origine, les concessions tarifaires et les engagements spécifiques en matière de commerce des services ont fait l'objet de rapports qui seront soumis à votre examen et adoption au cours de la présente session. Pour conclure, il me plaît d'indiquer qu'une déclaration historique sera adoptée au cours de cette session et dénommée Déclaration de Johannesburg sur le lancement des échanges commerciaux. Nous voudrions ainsi témoigner notre reconnaissance à cette belle cité d'Afrique du Sud qui devrait initialement abriter nos travaux en présentiel. C'est aussi le lieu de salut le leadership constant du président Cyril Ramaphosa, qui, en dépit des perturbations causées par la COVID-19 tout au long de cette année, n'a pas ménagé ses efforts pour maintenir l'examen des grandes questions prioritaires de notre Union. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais actuellement inviter Son Excellence Monsieur Wamkele Mene, secrétaire général de l'ASLECAF, pour son allocution.
Thank you very much, Madam Program Director, His Excellency President Ramaphosa, the Chairperson of the Assembly, His Excellency President Mahamadou Issoufou, the leader and champion of the AfCFTA, Your Excellencies, Heads of States and Government, His Excellency Mr. Moussa Faki Mohamed, the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Commissioners of the African Union, Excellencies, Ambassadors and representatives to the African Union. It is an honor for me to be able to make this statement to this august assembly from Accra, Ghana, the philosophical and intellectual foundation of Pan-Africanism. In August 2020, the government of Ghana officially handed over the AfCFTA Secretariat building to His Excellency Moussa Faki Mohamed. In my personal interactions with His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, it is clear that his commitment to the AfCFTA is anchored on a deep sense of duty to advancing the imperatives of Pan-Africanism. I deeply appreciate the support of the government of Ghana, the people of Ghana, in particular, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Bochwe, Minister of Trade, Minister Allen Cherry-Martin, and indeed the entire government of the Republic of Ghana. His Excellency Moussa Faki Mohamed and his Chief of Staff, my dear senior brother Abdoulaye Diop, have been a source of much strength for me and continue to support the Secretariat from Addis Ababa. Your Excellencies, Africa is on the cusp of a historic milestone, which started when the AfCFTA was signed in Kigali, Rwanda, in March 2018. As of today, 54 countries have signed the agreement. 34 countries have deposited their instruments of ratification, with the Federal Republic of Nigeria depositing their instrument of ratification this morning. Today, 41 countries and customs unions have submitted their tariff offers, including the East African Community and ECOWAS, who submitted their offers in the last few days. We congratulate all of them. This effort positions the AfCFTA for a truly commercially meaningful start of trading on the 1st of January, 2021. None of this remarkable progress would have been achieved without the unwavering leadership and commitment of His Excellency President Mahamadou Issoufou, the champion and leader of the AfCFTA. I also want to salute the Ministers of Trade, the senior trade officials, the chief negotiators, and our experts, our dedicated experts, for the hard work done over the last few months in very, very difficult circumstances. Africa has an over-reliance on the export of primary commodities to traditional markets of the North. In other words, Africa continues to be trapped in a colonial economic model. This requires that we aggressively implement the AfCFTA as one of the tools for effecting a fundamental structural transformation of Africa's economy and placing Africa on a path of long-term industrial development. Your Excellencies, now is the time. Now is the time to take action to dismantle this colonial economic model by accelerating our industrial development objectives. Women in trade, young Africans, small medium enterprises confront significant challenges when attempting to benefit from trade agreements. In this regard, we shall take up the challenge that His Excellency President Ramaphosa has just presented to us. We shall negotiate a protocol to advance the objectives of women in trade. For the AfCFTA to be inclusive and to ensure shared growth across the continent, women, young Africans, small medium enterprises have to be at the heart of its implementation. In this regard, we shall partner with UNECA, the UNDP, to ensure that the AfCFTA continues to contribute to the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals, Agenda 2030. We have partnered with the Afro Champions to deploy digitally enabled platforms to connect small medium enterprises, women in trade, and young entrepreneurs to new markets on the African continent. In revitalizing Africa's economy, particularly the services sector, AfRIVA, the Africa CDC Trusted Travel Initiative, is absolutely critical. Your Excellencies, Afreximbank has been a strong strategic partner to the AfCFTA. We are working together on the development of a Pan-African payments and settlement platform, which the Assembly launched last year in Niamey. We're also developing an adjustment facility to help countries that need this adjustment facility as they implement the AfCFTA. And both of these instruments will be critical in supporting the implementation of the AfCFTA. We intend to expand our partnerships with the private sector. We have had very fruitful discussions with Zenith Bank about a trade portal and Standard Bank about the possibility of the establishment of a $1 billion trade finance facility, which will be aimed at primarily small, medium enterprises. We will have to explore the possibility of trade finance, and this trade finance facility being jointly underwritten by governments, African banks, and African multilateral institutions. Let me conclude, Your Excellencies, by observing, as much progress as we have made, integrating 55 markets will not be easy. It will be difficult. It will be a daunting task. It will take resolute determination decade after decade. However, to throw our hands in the air and say the task is too difficult is not an option. A recent study by the World Bank estimates that where implemented effectively, by the year 2035, the AfCFTA has the potential to lift 30 million Africans out of extreme poverty and 70 million Africans out of moderate poverty. As positive as these projections are, they shall not happen by chance. We as Africans will have to take our destiny into our own hands. We will have to take concrete actions to make sure that these positive projections do become a reality. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President.
Merci, Monsieur le Secrétaire Général, Son Excellence, Monsieur le Secrétaire Général. Étant arrivé au terme de la cérémonie d'ouverture, je voudrais respectueusement redonner la parole à Son Excellence, Monsieur Cyril Ramaphosa, le président de la séance, donc de l'Union, pour la suite des travaux.